Hey folks, so if you just stumbled onto this video here and you haven't seen any of the other ones in this playlist, then there's actually a link down in the description of this video that will take you to any of the other videos in the 7-part playlist. And on top of that, at the beginning of the first video, I provide a little bit of background in terms of how this podcast came to be, the team at Epic Gardening, and just kind of how much of a fan I am of everything that they're doing over there with the company and the community that they're building and creating. So feel free to check that out. But other than that, let's go ahead and start diving into today's episode.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Epic Gardening Podcast. Kevin, Espiritu here. We have Jordan from Mind and Soil. They provide a bunch of natural and organic gardening products, and their mission is really awesome, to help 1 million people connect with the mental health benefits of gardening. I have really been working on this, like you have heard on yesterday's show, and I've probably talked about it in the past as well. So, Jordan, you've got sort of a checklist, so to speak, of ways that you can proactively be mindful in the garden instead of sort of letting it become another place that you get distracted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at the very beginning of this is just thinking of the garden as like your sanctuary and your safe haven and your space away from all the distractions or madness or just challenges that you might find yourself in throughout life. And so I've got kind of 3 things that I would recommend to individuals. And the first one is just like giving yourself permission to have however much time it's going to be, whether it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, to not really need to get to anything else. You don't need to be checking your phone. You don't need to be solving a problem. This is your opportunity to be in your sanctuary and recharging your batteries. And just by doing that first piece, it starts to feel like a little bit of a vacation. Again, you're stepping away and you're moving into that attention restoration side of things.
Yep. Yeah, totally agree. There's a thing that I would find hard to do, and that would be to disregard technology and just go outside and enjoy the garden for what it is. Is that something you recommend?
Yeah, it definitely is. Now, I think that, for yourself, there's a lot of content creation that's happening and running of the business. And so, for an individual that might not have those 2 pieces on their plate, I think or would hope that maybe it'd be a little bit easier to leave the phone inside. And, what you'll probably see after 1 or 2 times of doing it is that your hands are going to be completely covered in dirt. So it won't be too easy to use the phone in that situation anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's difficult to do. So for me, like I said yesterday, I force myself to have a specific time where the only thing I can do is just garden. Do you do something like that? For me, it's in the morning.
To be honest, I'd say that like right now it's like 1 day per week on the weekend. And we're in the first year of starting the business. So it's very, very like full on, all systems go. And like that time I absolutely love. And then over the course of the summertime, there's some nice little pockets that I'm able to get out there and do something like weeding, which again, I could spend hours weeding because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, for me, it's like throw some podcasts on or throw an audiobook on, and I'll sit out there all day. There's a stormy sort of day last year in the fall, and it was my first year in fall at this new property, and I was trying to tackle all this Bermuda while I could and grabbing like a pruning saw and like cutting it out from the base. And I think I went through like maybe an entire audiobook, just
amazing.
crushing, because it's lightly misting, you're getting a little wind, it's like easy to work with the soil. So I'm like, yeah, put in the 6-7 hours right now and just crush.
Totally.
And it was extremely enjoyable. I got inside, I got to take a hot shower, and like life was good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then the second piece that I'd encourage to folks to experience and to kind of like set themselves up to feel how just peaceful, how calming, how restorative gardening can be is that as you go outside to your garden, rather than just like starting to like run around thinking through the different things that you got to get to, is spend a minute just sitting somewhere in your garden and close your eyes and just take deep breaths. So breathing in, breathing out, And my favorite thing to do is to count how many different sounds you can hear. Because at first it's, maybe just a car that's driving by on the street or something off in the distance. But then you start to hear the birds, you start to hear the wind moving through the trees. And after just a minute of that, it's already like, dang, like my nervous system here is starting to feel really, really soothed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult to do. I'm trying to build a space in the garden where I can like more actively do that, like a little sitting garden, so to speak.
Yeah, and so actually that actually leads really well into the third piece that I would encourage to individuals, and that is like to kind of further riff on the second one is to activate your different senses. Right. So really intentionally thinking through and focusing on how many of those different sounds I can hear. And like you're doing your kind of garden and homestead project right now, I'm also in the midst of starting a garden project on my end and really turning my garden into, like what I would epitomize as like the mindful garden. And so one thing that I'm building into it is a barefoot path where each kind of 15 feet is going to be a different texture. So you'll walk into the garden and the first 15 feet, you're on your bare feet and you're going over moss. And then after that, you're going over like crushed pebbles, which are like a little bit sharper and like a drastic contrast to that moss. And you're just really focusing on how that feels on your feet, because that's once again kind of melting away all of the just like kind of madness or things that you might have going on in your life and allowing you to be really, really present in that garden sanctuary that you have.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm curious to follow along with that because as I build out the pathways here, I have none right now. So it's wood chips and dirt, So once I fix that, I might steal a couple of those ideas. I think that's fantastic.
Hey, okay. I stole it from someone as well.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just it's inspiration and adaptation is what it is. Alrighty, so that'll be it for today's show, everyone. Tomorrow we're going to continue on with Jordan. Stay tuned. Good luck in the garden and keep on growing. If you're looking for the best metal raised beds in the world, then keep on listening. And I've also got a 10% discount for you. Birdie's Garden products are my favorite raised bed. So much so that I bugged the company for over a year to let me sell them here in America. They finally said yes, and I'm now the US distributor. These are beds that are either 15 or 30 inches tall, so fantastic for a mobility challenged gardener, an elderly gardener, or someone just really tall like myself. They don't rust, they don't leach, they're lasting 10 times longer than wooden beds, and I'm even offering a 10% discount on your first order with the code EPICPODCAST. If you go to the store, shop.epicgardening.com, pick whatever bed that you love, pick more than one bed, outfit your whole garden with these beds, and use the code EPICPODCAST, all one word, you will get 10% off your first order. I love these beds so much that not only are they the only beds in my front yard, but I took on a pretty crazy risk in bringing these to America. So if you do want to support the podcast and you are in the market for some really high quality raised beds, I highly recommend you check these out. Thanks so much and good luck in the garden.
Alrighty, well, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this episode. And then when you're all set, you can simply click on this tile right here, and that will take you over to episode number 6, where Kevin and I discuss our Grow Together Fund, which is a really amazing thing near and dear to my heart, where individuals in our community help purchase and pay for the supplies for those that may not be in a position to purchase them on their own. So head over there, and I'll catch you on the next video.